In this video, we're going to be designing a sci-fi latch. We're going to be using hard ups and box cutters, so buckle up. Now, if you really want to learn how to use these add-ons properly, then I suggest you grab our course, The Ultimate Guide to Hard Ups and Box Cutter, because it's amazing. A link in the video description. Now, let me just cut this. Actually, you know what? We could chamfer this and chamfer this like this. If you don't apply scale, the chamfer is going to be kind of skewed, which is what I want. And then I'm going to grab this one and bevel it like this. So I'm going to have a really nice smooth bevel going down. Perfect. That's what actually, you know what? We could move this a little bit to the front. So change the width with this of this bevel using mesh machine. So chamfer width and make it less crazy. Maybe something like that. And then let's see what we can do here. Control B, and there we go. That's better. So we have a more gradual kind of a transition here to the front. And I think it's going to look good. What we could also do is go all the way down right here. Like this. That's also cool. Okay. Now, I'm not going to be able to bevel this one, right? But what I can do is go to Solve add-on and use the bevel feature. So I can do this. Now, before I do that, I'm going to apply scale. And let's do it again. So Solve and bevel this. Now, if you want to learn how to use Solve, I have a video on that. So, go and watch that. And that's that. And here on the back, at the back, what I want to do is I want to cut this, and I think I'm just gonna cut this like this for now. Then the top here, I want to cut out a feature in the middle. Well, let's first cut this one and give it a slight bevel, X and slash it, and then we're just gonna recover the cutter. And that didn't go perpendicularly straight. Let me just Alt-R this. There we go. And boom, right? Shift V and let's set it to view line in ortho. So we're going to be able to align our cutters for box cutter in ortho to the view. And now let me think. This is cool. Now what I would want to do is I will want to expand this cutter on the side here. So let's run another cut here on the side with a knife on the cutter, right? And we're gonna select this entire space here, and we're going to go to Q and Alt and macro, and we're gonna do this. All right, so it's gonna go outside, and then I'm gonna grab this one and Alt-R-X and kind of shift it with edge constraint to an angle. Okay, that's cool. I'm actually thinking that this one could also be kind of, fixed here. So let me see this. This could be actually interesting. I'm gonna follow the design there. Yeah, cool. So we got this part here, and let me just hide the one in the middle for a second. That's cool. Let's mirror it to the other side. Let's mirror this one, peachy. And let's run power save because, it's Wednesday. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this here like this. All right. So slice it here. And in fact, what we could do is, well, let's try this. Whoops, that didn't work. One more time. E, and there we go. Let me see that. This could actually work. We could bring it a little bit deeper here. So, summer here, and this could work, I think. Let's apply this. So operations multiply. And we're gonna grab this bit here and, bevel it a little bit, right? Maybe not as much. I'm not sure about this. Maybe what we could do is do this, and then, you know, bevel this one instead. Let me just nuke this nonsense here. Clean this, there we go. Grab these two and, you know, align them, there we go. Clean it, grab this edge and then bevel it. What the hell is going on? Loop select. Really? Control X. Ah, there we go. Now it's working. Let me just mirror this. Also remove the mark sharp. There we go. And then we can probably bevel this edge, right? Yeah, there we go. So I'll be looking. Is this any better? Yeah, that's an improvement. I like that. So let's do this. And then you can just pop a hole in here, you know. For now. Cool. Then we do need some, you know, some kind of like an opening here. I mean, we need some space here on the top. So let's just multiply this. We're going to run two edges here on the top like this. So A, and, you know, run it, move it to this side. And what I want to do is, let me see this. Let me just combine these two here and let me space them. Oh, here. Space, that's what I want. Well, let's try this maybe. That's better. Here too. Okay. And then we're gonna grab this one and run a bevel here. Actually, let me try to do this through. Yeah, this is not gonna work. Okay, so we have to run it here. Now this is gonna be a problem if I remove this. Well, what I can do is run a bevel, right, and then move this one to the right like this. It's going to work, and then mirror, right? It's going to be difficult to bevel this, but we can always use procedural bevel there, you know, it's no problem. Can bevel this as well. And then what we can do is, you know, grab this top here, or we could grab this one, right? So let me just clean this here, and then let's just try to chamfer it and turn off loop slide. Let's see how we're gonna do. Well, this is gonna alter the, you know, the curvature, but we can run an edge here or here, whatever, right? And just nuke this nonsense and then mirror to the other side. There we go. And this is gonna work. I'm just gonna have to clean a few things here. That's it. And peachy, right? And I think we're gonna be okay. Yeah, we're fine. Cool. So that's sorted. Now, you know, this one needs to be cleaned up, obviously. So shift 1, you know, shift 1, right? This is gonna be problematic, shift 1. I mean, if I do this, what I will need to do is I will need to arrange these here. So space them and then move them to the other, boom, right? So you need to know how to win your battles, do you know what I mean? That's peachy. We could run a, you know, chamfer here in the bottom. Could look interesting as well. Boom, right? There we go. And the same one here. So, you know, run the chamfer here. Similar width, and you're gonna be good to go. Now, obviously here, you know, running a chamfer on this area is gonna be difficult, but what we could do is run it to a certain place like this, right? And then we could fix this here, you see, by simply running an edge like that, right? So this is gonna look cool, and this is not gonna interfere with our corner here, which is cool. And we could actually nuke this one, run a bevel here, mirror to the other side, and we could actually run a chamfer on this as well. I think it's gonna look pretty cool. How are we looking? We're looking pretty peachy. We're looking pretty peachy. We could have some kind of a cut in this, to be honest. Let me just see this. T and insert it. That's annoying. Come on. There we go. Space. That will work. We will have to run some supporting loops in here. So let's just run one, then Alt R Shift Z, and then we're gonna split it, right? And just run some securing loops here to fix the shading a bit. And then we have to do the same thing on a cutter, I think, or we can do it afterwards, you know. So operations multiply, and we could just run it in here too. Let me see this. We're gonna have a beef here, so we're gonna have to fix it. Let's turn on the... That bevel should be actually above, and this one should be below. Something's with the order of modifiers not correct. Weird. Cool. Let me just turn it off for a sec and move this one below. There we go. The 4.5 is messing with the order of the modifiers when you're working with hard ups and box cutter. I don't know why, but you know, it is what it is. Let's just mirror this and I think it's gonna be okay. Same thing in the bottom, I suppose. Yep. I don't know why this happened, but must be a cutter. We gotta clean that, otherwise you're gonna have weird shading. So, and fixed. All right, cool. And we can bring the bevel back. Awesome. And you know, we could basically have something here. I mean, you know, shift curve extract, whatever, right? And you know, we could have some cuts on it or whatnot. There we go. On the side here, we could have a chamfer, right? So click, alt, click, which doesn't work for some reason. What the hell? Why is it not working? That's weird. Fair enough, let's do it manually. Chamfer, boom. It's gonna look good. If it's too close, you could move it to the left. So, you know, select this, go to the side, G and Y. Or like just, you know, move it somewhere here. So it kind of fits better. Not a big deal. And here on the top, I would like to create additional elements. So let me just run kind of like a button or something, you know what I mean? Cut it in and X, just slice it, sharpen this, and I can run a bevel on it. And what we could do is move a cursor here and rotate it on X. Whoops, one time on cursor. There we go. Right. And the bottom's gonna be a bit skewed, so what we can do is just, you know, nuke this and simply rebuild it. So select this entire edge here. Then easy, and then Alt A, and then F, done. And then we have to bring it up because it's too low, yeah? And sort it. Cool. And then we will We could actually create a bevel weighted, you know, situation here. So switch bevel to B weight, and it's gonna give us this chamfer here. We could also chamfer this situation here. Oh god, this is gonna be a disaster. I have to clean it up, otherwise it will not work. This one needs to be here. This one needs to be here and mirrored. Okay, I think now should be fine. There we go. Oh, it's still buggered. Hang on. Let me just clean it. One more time. And turn off loop side. There we go. And we're gonna have some beef here on this side. So what we could do is add the bevel here, and it's gonna be sorted. There we go. And obviously weighted normals, and then on top of this we could just pop some circular cut here in the middle, you know, just a button, whatever, right? So bring it in. Make it a little bit larger. Right, and then go to settings and shift click on solid to create a, you know, kind of like a button out of this. There we go. And this needs to be simply weighted normals, and we're good to go. And we could actually add a chamfer here. It's gonna be a bit difficult with this edge here. That's gonna be tricky, not gonna lie. So, you know, we could just leave it. But this is fine. And yeah, and we could have some kind of, you know, I don't know, 1 or 2 screws in here, whatnot, if even possible. This is not gonna be easy, you know, because the topology here is not really very favorable, do you know what I mean? So we would need to run edges this way, okay, in order for this to work. How we looking? That's a bit better. You're gonna have breakages, obviously, because of the way the, you know, the verts connect here. So if you apply this operations multiply, you're gonna have to, you know, fix this nonsense, right? There you go. Simply too much going on for the bevel size, yeah? And then you can grab this one and, you know, either do that or just add some stuff using keytops and, you know, hard ups, whatever. Sharpen this, maybe it's a little bit too let me just change the transformation here. There we go. And this could be actually chamfered. Or beveled. That's fine as well. Mirror this one. And Bob's your uncle. Right? Let's just grab this here. And we're going to curve extract it, and we're going to simply close it with faces, and we're gonna be done. So, you know, weighted normals and some sort of a bolt here on the side, and just mirror it. Done. All right. Cool. And you got yourself some kind of like a lock, you know, and then you can render it very quickly, right? So we're going to save it because reasons, and material. We're gonna pop a matte on this. Let's go to cycles, and this could be white, or actually could be dark. Maybe not that dark. Or black leather, not a bad idea. Not the best idea. Carbon fiber, maybe? Nah. Graphite steel. It could be graphite steel, just, you know, drop the roughness a bit. There we go, right? And this one could be also graphite steel. And this one could be this color, whatever. And these could be, you know, the same color here. And this could be the dark one as well, or just the graphite one. Yeah, that looks good. This one probably should be black. Yep. That's better. And the background can be plastic. Then all we need is a camera. And we need some proper focal length. Not some nonsense. And just let's align ourselves here. You want to leave a bit of a space underneath. In fact, we could put it on the ground. So there's a nice contact shadow. There you go. Bit of a space here. And then we can, you know, play with lighting. This one is really cool. We could rotate it a little bit to see what's gonna happen. Let me see simple. Oh, that one isn't bad. Let me just unlock this from view for a second. Then let's grab actually this is too big. Why is it not? That's why. This could be a bit less reflective, you know. So we could just, you know, tone down the darkness, roughness a bit and make it less reflective. I like this, right? So this could work. I'm not sure about this lighting, to be honest. Still kind of looks really nice and clean. Maybe this is the way to go. The floor maybe could be different, like maybe some rubber, some stuff, you know what I mean? Just with supply scale. It's a bit dark, this one, but you can change the color, you know? This is how our add-on material works, by the way. Make it a bit bluish and maybe, you know, darker, but not as dark. And then bump the light to like 1.4 or 1.5. That should do. Maybe we can just move this a little bit up here. You could also use some decals, you know, if you wanted to. Maybe some name here or whatnot. Let's just add a number. Log 450. Right. Just to add some flair to it. Something on the top, maybe a serial number, whatever. Or some notches, you know. 1 or 2, just to break the surface a little bit, right? So we could add something here. Project it, and then just, you know, mirror. Boom, right? You see, like, you got these surface breakages, which is really cool. Put something on top of these, so they not look so, you know, so bland. So we could use D and grab this cruise, shift S to cursor, and then D and project. Motherfucker. D, adjust. There we go. You know, you got yourself a screw. You can also adjust it. I don't know if it's gonna break. I mean, we're actually working right now on the solution for the material works, so you don't have to use the add-on. Yeah, there you go. See what I mean? That's why we're working on a solution for material works, to allow you to add decals and trim sheets using our add-ons. You can bypass the machine tools, the decal machine, sorry, because it's just a headache, you know what I mean? Crashes all the time. So I'll just leave it like this. Anyway, I think that's it for the video, and like I said in the beginning, if you want to learn how to use hardops and box cutter properly, then we have a fantastic course for it, which is called the Ultimate Guide to Hardops and Box Cutter, which is going to teach you how to, not just how to use these add-ons, but also all the tools, all the settings, including advanced stuff. And let me tell you that this is the only complete source of knowledge of these add-ons on internet right now, because the documentation is outdated, and you know, not many people actually run videos on these. Don't ask me why. They prefer to work in vanilla Blender for some reason, which is, you know, which is fine. I mean, some people just want to make things much slower, you know, and more painful. You know, it's called, I think, masochism. But there you go. And you know, so just leave them be, and you know, do what's smart, yeah, which means using add-ons when you work, because it's much quicker. Here, shift S to Geo, I think, and I'm gonna mirror this one more time. Let me just nuke this nonsense. Come on. There we go. And then let's put a decal here. Anyway, the link to the course is in the video description and in a comment pinned underneath the video. So go ahead and grab it. It's actually a second edition of this course. We've been using these add-ons for so long, you know, close to 6 years now, every day. So we know them inside out. So you're getting information from possibly the best source. Let me see if I can actually run this mud swap through decal machine without crushing. I doubt it. Oh shit, it worked. Okay. There you go. Sometimes it does work, sometimes it doesn't. I think it depends on the mud as well. There you go. See what I mean? See what I mean? That's what I mean. That's what I mean. It's annoying. But our add-on is almost ready, the update, and you know, you don't have to worry about all these crashes. But anyway, that's it for the video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. And then, you know, again, check out the course, the Ultimate Guide to Hardops and Box Cutter 2.0, because it's bloody amazing. Okay, see you in the next one.